This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So, we'll call the meeting to order, bang the hammer. We knocked the power cable right off the table. So this meeting is just really to talk about ambulance 2033 and the repair to that ambulance. Since we're supposed to do the pledge, we're not really set up to do the pledge online here. Rodney, do you want to read the prayer? Maybe?
Let's do the moment of silence.
All right, so we'll do the moment of silence for everybody affected by the coronavirus, and so we'll do that now. Okay. And so the only thing on the agenda tonight is the repair of ambulance 2033, which is not that, which is the ambulance that we talked about last time with the oil leak. So if everybody can see my screen, we received this email that says, Robin, I spoke with Simmons Rockwell. They have evaluated the engine, and below is the list. It needs 6 new tires, $1,047 for the tires, and they would need village board approval for the engine repairs because the worst cases they would be $6,700. And that ambulance needs a rear main seal, a front main seal, a bed plate gasket, and both O-rings on the oil filter adapter. And the email says to replace the rear main seal and the bed plate gasket, the engine has to be removed. With the engine out, I highly recommend, hang on, I can't see it. I highly recommend replacing the other gaskets that are prone to failure. There's only extra $100 in parts, and 90% of the labor is removing and reinstalling the engine. So it makes sense to do those seals and gaskets also. Not fixing this is a significant risk. The leaks will only get worse, and it will happen driving down the road. If a significant amount of the seals or gaskets fail, it will dump all 15 quarts. Obviously, then we need a new engine. Also, Simmons Rockwell did a bumper-to-bumper inspection, and so the rest of the vehicle's in great shape. So they said if we could make this decision prior to the 20th, it would minimize downtime and risk because right now we're running on one ambulance. So that's why we're having a meeting tonight to try and make a decision. So,
Got awful quiet.
Robin, do you have anything to add? I mean,
Not on that ambulance, no.
all right. We're trying to keep this. So we have that. So this is the one with the oil leak. Then there's the question of the third one that needs either the engine or the re-chassis. But we're trying to keep tonight just to getting through this to keep you guys moving.
Well, Michael, the only reason that I even sent you guys the information on that re-chassis is because they only have one right now. And with the situation in our world, the likelihood of getting another one is way, way down the road.
Yeah, I was talking to Nate today. No matter what, money-wise, no matter what option we go there, we're going to be a couple months before we figure out, if we want to go down that road, whether we take it out of a reserve account or borrow it. We've got to publish the right things in the paper and whatnot. So.
Well, the advantage of that is also that it'll be a gas ambulance instead of diesel, and we don't have to fight to try and find somebody to work on it.
Right. So for now, for clarity, right now, we'll just talk about this. Do you have anything to add for the board for the one that needs the oil
No.
repair?
No.
Anybody on the board have any discussion about it?
Hey guys, I would just like to motion that we approve the repair work in that amount, and we go forward with that estimate that we received.
I would like to second that.
All right, so that's motion by Laura, second by Charles. So discussion about the repair work. Rusty's looking at me.
So, does the motion include the little over 1,000 for the tires, and then some number for the repair? We always try to make sure we have a number.
6,700 is what they have. But
So that's whatever the number
bump it
is,
up a little.
$7,000 or whatever the number we pick.
Right.
But I assume it's gonna be whatever number.
Yep, so the tires are $1,047, which they've already have budgeted. And the $6,700 would, again, come out of the vehicle repair budget.
But just for the motion, we're going to pick a number bigger than the 67 number.
Right, yeah, it would be,
$7,000, Laura?
well,
Sure, yeah, I'll say estimate of not to exceed $7,000.
well, wait a minute, we should include it all. 1,047.
You have the tires in there too.
Right, so with the tires, it's $7,737.
All right.
So not to exceed 8,000?
Yeah,
That sounds like the deal. Is that good, Laura?
Okay, yes, I'll say 8,000. That's final.
Keep
That's
going,
your
Laura, keep
final
going.
answer?
If the tires are already a line item, we don't really have to vote on the tires, do we?
Probably not.
probably not, but we'll just make it, we're safe that way.
Well, I mean, if there's already a line item on that, I think 7,000 or whatever for the engine oil gasket repair shouldn't include the tires that are already accounted for in the budget.
Yeah, I mean, technically, there's line items for both, just anything over 5,000, we have to approve as a board.
Right.
So it depends how they invoice it, really. If they invoice it with the tires separately, then we wouldn't have to approve them. But if they invoice us one bill, then we have to approve the whole thing,
Right.
So, Laura? What? Anything?
Yeah, whichever number, it's okay with me. We're covered, under the 8,000, and it's already listed in the transcript, so I think we're okay just to vote on that.
Per the email, right?
Yeah, the motion covers all the items listed in the email and the price estimates.
Any other discussion about this motion?
Nope.
All right, let's vote. Let me get my list here. Charles,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
let's see, Laura,
Yes.
I think I missed, Rusty,
Yes.
and me, myself, yes. Okay.
I work here this day.
All right, so that is that. Do we want to spend 5 minutes and look at the other proposal? I see, so Jeff Dorado did join from VCI.
The gentleman that, who has gone down and looked at the ambulance at 3-1 and gone over with us, Paul, myself, Stephanie, and Dan, as to what we would like to see in the re-chassis.
Let me pull up your emails here.
Jeff, are you there?
Rusty, did you get a copy of all this?
Nope.
All right, we'll print it out for you here. Yep. whole bunch of it, so I'll print it out after. Maybe Jeff could explain a little bit.
Do that next Monday.
Jeff, are you on?
Yes, I am.
He is. There it is.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Jeff. I hear a little voice.
Here, are you waiting for me?
Yeah, do you want to just go over what you sent as far as the email, just so we understand it? Because really we'll have this discussion on next Monday, but just in case any of the trustees have any questions about the information that you sent over.
Well, to summarize, it's a lot of information in regards to a quote to remount the ambulance that is currently has a blown engine. Essentially, the remount process is module is separated from the chassis. Upgrades, refurbishment, any work that Robin and Paul and the others have talked about gets done to the module. A new chassis is put onto it, and essentially you're getting a very nearly new ambulance once the remount process is done. As Robin pointed out, the diesel engine is no longer available in the Type 3 chassis, so you'll be transitioning to a gas engine. There are many advantages to that. Cost of operation is much lower through fuel and maintenance. As Robin also pointed out, the gas engine, there's opportunities for many more mechanics to work on it than there are with the diesels.
Okay. Is there any, I know Robin said you only have one chassis available right now.
That is correct. We only have one available that's unassigned, free for anybody to purchase. With the Ford being shut down, we have no idea when production is going to start back up. Obviously, there's an extensive backlog that is occurring right now. So who knows how long it would be before chassis would be available for your project should you go that route.
Okay. I guess we'll have to take a look at all the information. I know I was talking to Nate, the lawyer, earlier today, and no matter what route we go as far as getting the money, it's going to take us a couple of months probably, honestly, before we can sign the agreement, you know what I mean? So,
Well,
thank you.
the advantage of placing the order sooner than later is you're going to be in the queue.
Right.
Because obviously orders for remounts continue to come in, and actually overall we've seen a dramatic spike in orders for new, used, and remounted ambulance with the COVID-19 stressing out EMS.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously an ambulance is something you need for sure.
Now, what is the down payment that we need to put up front?
Well, as we always do, just 10% cost of the total project.
Okay.
And that also, Jeff, includes a loaner ambulance, correct?
Correct. Anytime we do a remount, or even if the vehicle that you've purchased from us goes down for an extended period of time, my company always offers up a free ambulance for you to use.
Okay. That's
The only thing we would have to provide is insurance.
Correct. Per New York State regulations, Department of Health, and DMV, it has to be licensed and insured all under your name.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a nice little service, though, for sure. All right.
How long would the ambulance be in the shop approximately?
Well, it's hard to say right now because we have an extensive backlog of work. Generally, once the process begins, you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 months to it to take place. Being that the chassis is already here, that's half the battle. So we could probably get you into the queue very quickly. So I would project at a barest of minimums 4 months, maybe 6. But again, it really is a moot point because we're going to offer you a loaner and your fleet will be back up to par while we do our work.
Well, I asked that because it might be part of what we consider as far as how we work with our financing, you know?
Correct. Understood.
Is that the average time frame on working a project such as that?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Is that the average time frame of labor to work on a project such as that?
Yeah, like I said, our once in process, that generally remains pretty true and consistent. I recently did a remount for Lake Placid, New York, with about the same amount of work, and that was about how long it took once the work began.
Okay.
There were chassis issues previously last year, and we waited almost a year for their chassis to be produced by Ford because they had supplier issues.
Okay. Is there any other complications that you may foresee that might arise in the process of this that you might have experienced in the past projects that you taken on in this matter?
You never know what you're going to get to when we dive into working on these vehicles. But we do this on a very regular basis. This is, you own a product that we've represented and remounted. We represent it new. We've remounted them for many years. You know, one of our biggest and best customers is actually the Presidential Detail, the Secret Service. We've done vehicles for them before. So we've worked from as small as the village of Wego up to the federal government.
All right. No, my question was that because I know things could come up while you're in the process of working on it, but
Yeah,
I was wondering if there's anything that stood out in the past of your past projects that you've done that may occur that we need to be aware of so that we can.
I generally would take those into account. Again, we're rather experienced and versed in all brands of ambulances, and we've learned where those nuances and pitfalls are. Being that we're working with the brand that we represent new, we know it very well, and I can't project anything. I've already actually taken into consideration in the quote things that are high wear items or might need to be addressed while we have it.
Okay.
All right, so discussion on this at least will be on the agenda for next Monday. Jeff, the link will stay the same if you want to join again. You obviously don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm more than willing to join in and help answer any questions you may have.
Okay, yeah, it'll be next Monday, same time, same link, place, all that good stuff.
Mary, can I raise
No
my hand?
mileage required.
Just to
I think
confirm.
Paul has something to say there.
Oh, hang on, Robin just wants to say something.
Did everybody get the email of the details of what the re-chassis is and what it looks like?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will print it out for Rusty. We're right here right now, so I'll print them out, all the stuff.
All right. I just wanted to make sure everybody had all the information.
Yep.
Thanks, Paul.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Is there any way that this can be done as like an emergency purchase?
Probably not. Really, the only kind of emergency we have right now is getting back our second ambulance. Once we get back a second one, it's not really like a emergency type of thing.
Okay. So I guess the next question.
Okay, go ahead, Paul.
I guess the next question is, what do we need to prepare for next Monday, if anything?
I think we have it from what Robin has sent. We'll obviously, on our end, have to look into the financing end of it and get some options.
That could be being done before Monday's meeting on the 20th.
Yeah, we'll have to Rodney look into it.
And Mayor, this is Nate real quick. One of the things that I guess I would just like very clear for the record is whether or not re-chassising of an ambulance is something that multiple vendors can provide. Right now, I know obviously we're on the line with someone from DCI, but this is, if you're talking about the re-chassising of a vehicle or of an ambulance box like this, and it's over $100,000, it would certainly ordinarily be subject to competitive bidding. And so we need to understand the basis for why you can avoid or not competitively bid this.
Right. Which I think one of those reasons would be the fact that we standardized on Horton boxes. There's actually an ambulance going by right now. It's going to get loud.
Right on cue.
And I think
Well, isn't it also the fact that this is warranted from purchase last year, and that so they will include the loaner, which someone else may not?
no, this was not the one that we bought from them last year.
Oh, okay.
This is a different one. I think the only way we can get around a competitive bid is the fact that we standardized on Horton, and I don't know of any other Horton re-chassis dealer or in the area. We can publish it out there for competitive bid, I guess.
And certainly, I think when I looked back at the 2018 meeting minutes, it did look like after the village standardized to the Horton brand, there was a competitive bid put out for the purchase of an ambulance. And so, if there's some requirement, to maintain any warranties or things like that with the Horton boxes, or if no one is allowed to move a Horton, the box and put it on a new chassis like this, then those might be reasons to standardize, like you just kind of pointed out, Mayor. But again, Robin, that's one of the things that we just need to understand and have in the record for the board to rely on when they vote.
Understood.
Maybe the first step is to put it out to competitive bid and then have BCI or whoever bid on it.
Well, we might not need to competitively bid. If there really are no other authorized re-chassisers, vendors who could re-chassis this, then you don't need to competitively bid. You could sole source this to VCI. But that's just the board needs to understand that.
Here, I can
And we need to
comment on
research
your
that.
question.
What was that?
Here, I could provide some background on the remount industry if you would like and answer most of his questions.
Sure.
Okay, so in regards to can anybody remount an ambulance and are there other vendors out there? The answer to that is yes. The remount industry has become very popular as a way for agencies to save money in the long run. Unfortunately, the number of remount vendors has increased, but the quality that they offer is not there. That is obviously up to each individual to determine who's going to do the best work, and that's obviously open for very much for a subjective assessment. As for warranties, I am, being a Horton dealer, we are certified to actually extend the body warranty on the Horton ambulance that you already own through the remount process. So that is one advantage that I'm going to give you. Another advantage is I will be using all Horton parts, all Horton techniques. I actually have access to upgrade the Horton computer, which most remounters do not. Due to that one fact alone, most people actually completely gut the electrical system and rewire it, installing a old school relay and switch system, which is a major step back in technology and quality because they do not have access to the computer. Any other questions you may have on that? I'm trying to keep it brief.
And Jeff, this is Nate Van Wy. I might have some other questions. I'm not sure if we need to do it on the call with the village board or not, but it sounds like you've presented a couple ways we might see our path through this if the village board ultimately decides to follow through with rechassis.
Right.
Happy to answer your questions anytime.
So I guess whatever that next step is, we'll get it figured out by Monday and have information for you.
Very good.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. I think Rusty wants to make a motion to adjourn. You make that motion, Rusty?
I do.
Yeah.
I second.
Everybody in favor? Aye.
No executive session.
Bye.
Yes,
And thanks for joining, guys. Have a good night.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
be safe, everybody.
Yeah, you
Yep,
too.
take care.
Okay.